This is an informal, casual space. I know there are rows of seats at the back. We've got lovely sort of tables where you can bring your drinks, you can sit down, you can chill out. That's what we're trying to do at Music Tech Fest, which is hopefully a lot of fun. I asked Daniel how he would like to be introduced. The answer was, this is Daniel.
Actually, I said I'd just introduce myself, but there you go. Hello, this is Daniel. You offered me a t-shirt, but I said I'd had my own. So there you go. I think this logo is going to make its way up to one of the blank spots up there. I'm from an organization called Kendra Initiative. I set it up 14 years ago. It's a non-profit organization. We're creating open source software. There's a mission behind it to create an open and distributed marketplace for digital media. And we've been playing with these ideas over the years. And a few years ago, I got some funding, and then I got some more funding from the EU. And this year, I've got some funding from the UK to build prototypes. And I want to go into a bit about the motivation, and I'm going to get my watch out. Because time is an essence. Right. There's been a lot of talk here about confusion, about portable data, about interoperability, and what we're kind of seeing out there in the music business, and that's from the low to the high and all the breadth of it, is there's a lot of confusion, a lot of frustration, because there's all these commercial systems and non-commercial systems not necessarily working together. So there's lots of different ways of possibly doing things. And it's not that the music business is bad, it's just that it could be improved upon, and there's a lot of places for it to be improved. And so we've been looking at where are the pain points. There's a lot of people feel that they're not really getting the money that they should be getting for their art. Is anyone earning any money from the music here? Cool, one. Awesome, but it's something. It's like baked beans on your plate or something. So why have I put TCP/IP up there? How can we help confused artists, record labels, to manage their content easier, to track content, if someone samples their content, to have that tracked, to get what is rightfully theirs in terms of remuneration for the music they're selling and for the samples being taken of their tracks, for instance, or media. TCP/IP is the protocol for the internet. It's a way that all the computers talk to each other using this messaging system. The applications that this poor person is looking at in their computer screen are not talking to each other. They're all independent, and they have no way of moving your, as was spoken earlier, Andrew said, about moving portable data. HTTP, it's another thing that works. It's all our web devices. It doesn't matter what operating system you use, doesn't matter what piece of hardware you have, you can view a web page. MIDI, you connect up all of your music devices up, and it all works. You know, you press a key here, and it sounds up there, and they all know about these languages. Why can't we do this for music business logic? If I sell a track over there, why can't another service provider, another system, or an analysis system over here, why can't it understand that if I play out a track over there on a radio station, why can't that be fed back into another accounting system over there? And it's all fluid. It doesn't happen at the moment. It does in some places to certain degrees, and there are some standards like DDEX, for instance, that does allow you to do this in certain ways, but it isn't ubiquitous, and that doesn't bring total harmony. Are you following me? Great. So, earlier this year, we got a grant from the UK government body, TSB, the Technology Strategy Board, to build an application. We are not building a service. Kendra Initiative isn't a service provider. We build open source software and we give it away for free. Okay. And so what we're doing is we're building an application that is going to prove this concept, because we are a research organization, and we have a proof of concept grant. So we're going to build an application, a dashboard application for a content owner to map everything that's happening within their media production environment, their collaborators, their assets, the samples that they've taken from other people, the samples that people have taken from them. And we're going to have all the rights associated and the credits associated with the tracks and the samples put in. A lot of the times when we use third-party services, how many times have you entered the same data twice? And that's rather ridiculous. When you have the data, it should just be, you should be able to just say it once and then pass it over to your applications should be able to talk to each other. And I know you know this stuff because you use it sometimes where the applications talk to each other and you don't have to, like when you log in with Facebook or you log in with Google+, you don't need to put your name in again. You just log in and it works wonderfully. So a lot of services have APIs. They have ways that you can connect. So what we want to produce is a hub that allows you to connect into lots of different service providers because they expose the mechanics of how we can do that. So, let me give you a demonstration. I'm going to risk everything by doing a live demonstration here. This is our pre-alpha. I've been told never to wave my hands, but I'm doing it anyway. A pre-alpha. There's a lot of mocked-up pages here, and I'll go through them pretty quickly, and I'll show you the guts. Still got a few minutes. Calendar. Events, contacts. But this is like the people you're working with. And so attached to each person you're working with would be, what instruments do they play? What tracks have you worked with them? What sessions did you do with them? What sessions are you going to do with them? What's being booked up? So all of this kind of metadata. When you go into studios, the big problem has been, and a big problem for all the collection societies, we want more data about who was actually in that room. Who was the person running? Who was the person mixing? Who was the mixing person on the desk at that time? A lot of this information has been lost, and we need to be much more vigilant about making sure that that gets captured at the time. Projects, so we can find out how we can manage the different projects we're working with different sets of people and see how the timeline, how they're doing. Okay, I'm going to flip to clips, and I'm going to just show you how we've. No, I'm going to show you something else. Yeah, I'm going to import projects. We should be able to import projects from different digital audio workstations, Pro Tools. Why can't we just drag in a Pro Tools mix, multi-track mix, and within each one of the samples, with each one of the recordings, there is in that metadata who played on it. What did they play? What was the tuning that they played on? All of the applications could start to adopt these kind of identification methods if they're not doing it already. And then those could be exported. So again, one thing that Kendra Hub is about the content, is about you who have created the music owning the metadata, and you giving permission to other people to get that metadata. So again, a lot of the time is we have to give it away multiple times to multiple people. But if we can connect into iTunes, into Napster, or whoever the online distribution point is, then we can be in control of, we can syndicate out the content much easier. Okay, an example. Stairway to Heaven. We've put it into the system. There are different rights out there, I understand. And I'm learning a heck of a lot about how this all works. There's composition rights, there's performance rights. So you can see the composers there. Can you still see that? Great. Performance rights. So you can see what we've done is we've kind of taken the timeline and we can say that's where people performed. And then these are the actual performance, the actual data there, and we've actually given a suggested split. That's a very contentious thing for us to do, but we're going to do it anyway in order to get discussion going about how these splits are actually calculated. There are featured artists and there are just session musicians out there, and they all get different splits depending on which country you're in. I'm learning a lot. And the divide between the composition and the performance right, that varies from country to country. So what I'm giving you is a glimpse of, if we start to actually analyze this stuff, we can really map out how things are. So the aim here is, if I sell my track for £1 in iTunes, I can calculate exactly how much I'm going to get. I don't believe you can do that right now. I think there's some smoke and kind of fuzz and cloud in the middle. You just don't know how much. The accounting is not end to end, and that's what we want to achieve here with a protocol for the music business logic. So, in my last few seconds, do I have a few seconds? I think I do. I'm going to take a sample of Stairway to Heaven, and I'm going to put it into another track. And let's go back to clips. Let's take song 2. Yeah, nope, that's going to be complex. Let's go to song 1. Okay, this has only got David Bowie and Freddie Mercury, and they did a jam sometime, and they called it song 2. Great. And this is the split they decided how to split it in terms of rights. And so I'm going to embed a sample in there. I'm going to embed a sample of Stairway to Heaven. Here's Stairway to Heaven. That's the performances you can see there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of this part, and you can see that it recalculates who actually played within it, and then it also gives you a new suggested split. But if I just bring down here, so I just want to take that portion of this is done in percentages, by the way. It doesn't have to be, but it is for the moment. You can see we've only got these 4 tracks here now left. And there's a suggested split there as well. So what I'm going to do now is take that sample and put it into I'm going to say here's a target usage, and I'm going to put that into song 1. And now song 1 contains a sample of Stairway to Heaven, and you can see all of those, what we're calling legal entities, are now taking a cut of, if someone sells song 1, they actually get a cut of it. And we can do nested samples from samples. So you can actually start to account in a very, very deep way where your music has been used and played. And what we'd like to do is then support the kind of activities that are going on in the previous conversations that you've heard this evening, with technologies that really do say, when you use my sample, then give us credit for it, and let's negotiate what the remuneration. If you're going to make money from it, I think it's fair that I make money too. And we can really track this, and we can track it if it's played out on a radio station. And at the moment, that doesn't happen ubiquitously. It happens sporadically around the world, and I'm just finding out how we need to really be structured about this and make it happen. So go to kendra.org, sign up, email me, daniel@kendra.org.uk, and start a conversation. And we're funded until the middle of next year, and you're going to have to kick me off.
I'm going to have to kick you off. Daniel, thank you so much. Daniel from Kendra, which I think, Michaela.
This is what I like to hear. So Gaynor over there just said to me, well, this is absolutely brilliant. Sorry, well, you always say something to contribute. And she said, well, this is absolutely brilliant. It needs the user interface side of things now. And I'm going, well, that's why he's here, and that's why you're here. So, I mean, go talk to him and go and develop that side of things. That's the whole point about this. So, I mean, guys, please don't feel that you have to kind of sit there just kind of like, I don't know, penguins come to mind. I don't know why. Don't ask me. But basically, the whole point about this is that you come to this person who's just spoken and just say, hang on a minute, I've got an idea about this, and I think we could take this further. And that's the idea about this place. So, and also, sorry, one more point. One more point. We are running late. But basically, you have seen us fall over a few times already, and teething problems are just the norm here. Please get used to it, because, you know, we basically, the whole thing is very much kind of DIY and experimental, and things will fall over occasionally, so just be patient. It's worth it, though.
Can I just say one thing? If you want to come talk to me, please do it right now, because it's been a really long day, and I won't survive much longer. Please, I'm going to just be over there. Please do come right now.
Thank you, Daniel.
I'd love to talk to you.
In the interest of brevity, the hashtag is MTF London. We're at Music Tech Fest on Twitter.